Alright, moving on with the story. We'll have to see why the priest decided to call on Wakka.
Is something wrong?
The summoner hasn't returned from the trial.
Eh?
Well, apprentice summoner, really.
Huh?
There's a room in there called the Cloister of Trials. Beyond is where the apprentice summoner prays. If the prayer is heard, the apprentice becomes a fully fledged summoner. Remember?
So someone is in there somewhere and they haven't come back out. Right, I got it.
A day's already gone by.
Is it particularly dangerous in there?
Sometimes, yes.
Why don't you go in and help?
There's already guardians in there. Besides, it's forbidden.
Hey, but what if something happens? What if the summoner dies?
The precepts must be obeyed.
Like I care. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all.
No, to be honest, if you think about it carefully, what Tidus did was... What? You're just gonna go what? Because... Why would you do that? You don't even know who the summoner is, right? Anyway, so... This is gonna be our first Cloister of Trials. So, according to the description, those who seek to learn of Yevon's secret arts are tested by the Cloister of Trials. Find the right way and you will be taken to the Chamber of the Faith. Examine objects with... to open the way. Okay. So, Cloister of Trials basically is like a mini puzzle where you will have to place the spheres on different slots, or where must it be placed, like this sphere goes here but this one should be here, and then there will be times where you need to touch something like this, the glyph, which will allow you to open the wall and make it further in. And sometimes you will even discover another sphere. So like this one, we have a slot for the sphere. Okay, glyph spheres open the way to the Chamber of the Faith. Destruction spheres open the way to the hidden treasure. Should note that. It seems that Besaid spheres are also necessary. And we got... the glyph sphere, which is necessary to open the Chamber of the Faith. The Chamber of the Faith is basically where you will get the Aeon. So basically, as you use the glyph spheres, you are making your way to the Chamber of the Faith. So there's a slot here. There's a slot here as well. Okay, we got something here. What is this? It's a Besaid sphere. Okay. Let's see what it does. Let's see if it will do something here. Here we go. But before we proceed here, since once we proceed here, there's no coming back to this trial, we will need to get the treasure chest first. Every temple or every Cloister of Trial has its own treasure chest, and from those treasure chests you can get some really good equipment that you can use in battle that can help you make some of the battles easier, or get access to certain abilities ahead. Not only that, if you can get all of the destruction spheres, I mean, all of the treasures from each Cloister of Trial, then post-game, you will be able to get a hidden Aeon or a secret Aeon. So remember that. We got a Destruction Sphere, and like what was said earlier, Destruction Sphere paves way to the treasure. So what we must remember is that always get the Destruction Sphere and get the treasure. Here we got Rod of Wisdom, and as you noticed, when we open the treasure, a symbol appeared, right? Basically, it signifies that it activated something somewhere. So there we go. You can obtain hidden items by using Destruction Spheres. Sadly, the game doesn't say anything about a hidden Aeon, but there we go. We're going for 100%, then we must get it. Okay, let's check what we just got. Equipment. Rod of Wisdom. Abilities. Magic plus 5%, Magic plus 3%, and Sensor. So, it increases the magic stat in battle by 5%, with a total of 8%. And then you also get the Sensor ability. By Sensor ability, when you select an enemy, it allows you to see their current HP, their weakness, like elemental weakness, their status, etc. And funny thing is, this actually gives us who will join our party pretty soon. Gives the full info. Anyway, since we already got the Destruction Sphere and the treasure from it, let's continue with the story.
Hey! What's gotten into you? Hey, it's okay. Only summoners, apprentice summoners, and their guardians can enter here. It's a tradition, very important.
So what about you?
Me? I'm a guardian.
A guardian? Whoa! Ah!
Summoners go on a pilgrimage to pray at every temple in Spira. Guardians protect them. The Guardian's in there now. One of them's got a short fuse, and who knows what the other's thinking. Well, now that we come this far, might as well go all the way.
What are you doing here? Didn't think we'd be able to handle it?
No, it's just... See, I told you she gets mad easy.
Is the summoner all right?
Who are you?
I've done it. I have become a summoner.
Man, was I surprised. And here I was thinking summoners were all old geezers.
So from that scene, we were introduced to 3 new characters, right? So the summoner is named Yuna. Then the female who interacted with Wakka is named Lulu. And the other one who caught Yuna when she was about to fall is named Kimari. Actually, in the past, when I first played this game, Lulu was my favorite. I mean, okay, you might be thinking because of her physical assets. It's mainly because of her black magics during battle. While you're playing in the main story, Lulu will be very, very useful because she can learn level 1, level 2, and level 3 black magics, which deals very, very large damage against enemies, especially when you exploit their weakness. And with that said, yeah, believe me. Anyway, let's see. But sooner I just shifted to Yuna when I realized that she can also learn black magic spells too when
Hey,
can
over
access
here!
the sphere grid.
What? Ow!
Wait till you see this.
I can't see anything.
Ready?
Okay.
I had never seen anything like it in my life. Sure, it was a little scary, but still, I could feel a strange kind of gentleness coming from it.
Alright, we got our very first Aeon named Valefor. So Valefor made her debut in FF10. She didn't appear in any of the previous FFs. And being the first Aeon, you might consider her weak since she's the first one when you get the other ones in the future. And no worries about it since later on you will be given access to stat boosting items, or forgot what specifically they are called. But basically you will be allowed to further boost the stats of these Aeons when they reach their max level or max stat with Yuna. And by the way, if you're wondering how these Aeons get more powerful or get stronger, basically they get stronger with the summoner. So as you increase the summoner's stats, their stats will increase as well. Anyway, with that being said, I still consider Valefor being one of my favorite Aeons in this game. Not only because she has a very unique design, but also she gets access to 2 overdrives, which we will cover later on. I mean, she's the only Aeon that can get 2 overdrives in this game.
I remember, that night, we talked for the first time. I didn't know it then, but after that night, everything changed. For everyone. For me.
Let me introduce you to the team. This guy here wants into the tournament so bad, I let him on the team. His memory's a little fuzzy, so don't mind him if he says anything odd. Come on, say hi.
Hi guys. So what's our goal?
To do our best! Nope, we got a new goal now. Our new goal is victory! To win every match, defeat every opposing team, to bring the Crystal Cup back to our island. That's all we need to do to win. Easy, huh?
Victory! 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 Yeah!
Funny how Wakka twisted the narrative with telling his teammates that it was Tidus who wanted to join the team, whereas it was actually him who wanted Tidus to join the team.
You heathen!
Stay away from the summoner!
You're a bad man!
Lady Yuna, be careful.
But it was really my fault to begin with. I'm Yuna. Thank you so much for your help earlier.
Huh? I'm sorry about that. Wasn't I not supposed to? Guess I kinda overreacted.
Oh no, I was overconfident.
I saw that Aeon thing. That's amazing.
Really? Do you think I can become High Summoner?
Lady Yuna, come play with me some more.
So, tomorrow then.
Tomorrow?
We're going on the same boat, aren't we?
Oh, really?
We can talk more.
Huh.
You can tell me all about Xanarkand.
She's cute, yeah?
Alright, here we get to choose two options. And I'm just gonna base it from me, okay? Like what I said before, 10 years ago, or 12 years ago, Lulu used to be my favorite, but as I replayed the game more, and when I played the sequel, FF10-2, I now prefer Yuna. So we're gonna pick the first option. Just to call this. Somehow increase our affection with her. With Tidus. Because if I remember correctly, this can contribute to who throws the Blitz Ball in one of Tidus' overdrive. Because Tidus has an overdrive where he will be using a Blitz Ball and one of your party members will throw the ball for him. So I believe this has something to contribute with it. So if you choose yeah, then it will give you a plus points. If you pick this one, then neutral, I guess. It won't add or subtract anything.
Don't get no ideas.
No promises there, big guy. Hey, but what if she, comes on to me?
That's not going to happen. If you get tired, let me know. I had a bed made for you.
Okay. But I love the details.
Ready for bed.
After this, we'll be seeing another scene with Wakka and Lulu.
Good. Sleep tight.
Okay, before that, we have Tidus dreaming. And you might have an idea on what this is about.
Where's that boat?
Everyone will find us if it doesn't come soon.
You really sure this is okay?
Would you take me to Xanarkand?
Hey! You said you'd go with me!
Oh, hey,
I thought Wakka told you not to get any ideas.
He did?
Yeah, so you're coming with me.
Hey, stop dreaming! You with a woman? You can't even catch a ball! Oh, what's the matter? Gonna cry again? Cry, cry. That's the only thing you're good for.
I hate you.
Huh? What'd you say?
You have to speak loudly.
I hate you!
Huh?
That's the spirit.
You can do it.
I hate you!
He's dead, okay? Dead. He does look a lot like Chapu. I was surprised too, the first time I saw him. But no matter what he looks like, he isn't Chapu. You shouldn't have brought him here in the first place.
Yeah, but he needed our help.
Excuses again?
Yeah, but...
That's it. No more. Enough, Wakka.
Scary. So, who's Chapu?
My little brother, Chapu. He looked like you.
He's dead?
He was with the Crusaders when they fought Sin last year. He didn't make it. I first heard on the day of the tournament.
Oh, so that's why.
I became a guardian to fight Sin, yeah?
Revenge, then?
That was the idea. I'm more worried about a stupid game now than avenging my brother. Well, after the next tournament, I'll be a guardian full-time. I know it kinda looks like I'm using you, but I'm not.
Don't worry. I mean, I owe you a lot. You really helped me out, you know? What I mean is... Thanks, Wakka.
Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Right, so before that scene with Wakka and Lulu, we saw Tidus' dream, right? And yeah, it was supposed to be a wet dream, but his dad, Jack, intervened. I mean, I'm not sure what Tidus was thinking on his mind, or it was his just subconsciousness. I mean, after all, he is just a teenager. 17, I believe. Anyway, Lulu's design here in this game is really unique, as you have seen. Maybe that's one of the reasons I came to like her first.
Hey, sleepyhead. Something I want to give you.
Whoa! You're giving this to me?
Yeah, use it well.
That's the sword you gave Chappu.
Well, he never used it. Where's Yuna?
We're taking the same boat as Yuna, right? Why do we gotta wait here?
Yuna came to this village 10 years ago, when the last calm started.
The calm?
Since then, she's been like a little sister to me and Lulu. But she had the talent. She became an apprentice. Now, today, she leaves as a summoner.
This is our journey. We should leave together.
You really don't need all that luggage.
They're not really my things. They're gifts for the temples we're to visit.
This isn't a vacation, Yuna.
I guess you're right.
Okay, off we go.
Okay, before we leave the Besaid village, we'll need to head back. Why do we need to head back? Because, like what I said earlier, our first Aeon, Valefor, has two overdrives, correct? And one of it can be gotten by going back to the Besaid village. So what you need to do first is go on the first stand to the left and interact with this girl right here. Then she'll say something about this. You know, funny thing happened. My dog dug something up yesterday. I wonder what it was. That is what gonna trigger this event. Mini event. Then you go to the third tent to the right and interact with this dog. He's got something in his mouth. Obtain something mangled and slubbery. Valefor has learned the overdrive energy blast. So let's see it. Aeons. Valefor. There we go. She gets energy ray by default, and the only way you can get energy blast is by doing that mini side quest right here. So what is the main difference, you might ask, between energy ray and energy blast? Well, simple. Energy blast deals more damage than energy rain, but you get more cooldown with it. So you gotta be wise in using energy blast too. But usually for me, I just use them as finishers, so there's no need for me to use energy rain. Later on, I'll show you what energy ray and energy blast looks like. We're done here. So the main reason I want to get the overdrive early on is because post-game, well, not the post-game, once you get to a certain point at this game, when you go back here, someone is going to block your path, a specific boss, which will prove to be very difficult to beat unless you have already got your characters.
Hey, why don't you try out that sword I gave you?
No problem.
Not too shabby. You kept up with him pretty well. Might make a good guardian someday. flyer. My kind of customer.
Okay, so for battles, basically Tidus deals with the wolf-like creatures, and for flyers like this, I mean, these flyers like this have a relatively high evasion stat, but that doesn't mean that Tidus can't hit them. It's just that it might take you 2 or 3 attacks before you can hit them. So if you want to immediately just get rid of them, you can always use Wakka because he uses his Blitzball as a weapon, right? And he has the highest accuracy stat for your party. Usually you will be able to deal with flyers just by using Wakka. But do take note that if you're going for overkill, Wakka is not really the best option to go with it because he has a lower attack stat than Tidus.
That looks like trouble.
Ha! Watch this!
Oh, so this is the game telling us on
Told ya. Only magic
which
can beat
party
that
member
thing.
deals with
If you
specific
can't beat
enemies.
them down, you gotta use magic of an element they don't like.
Magic? Element?
Let's have our black mage show you what I mean. Lu, you're up.
Clueless, aren't you? Good thing I'm here.
Elements. Magic and fiends are properties called elements. There are 4 elements: fire, ice, lightning, and water. Fire and ice are opposed, as are lightning and water.
Spells of ice work well against fire fiends, and ice fiends are weak against fire magic. You follow?
I get fire and ice, but what about lightning and water?
Lightning and water are opposed, just like fire and ice. This one here is a water fiend, which means...
Okay, you can directly choose to cast thunder to defeat the enemy. But if you want to hear the other dialogues which Lulu has to say when she uses the other magics, then feel free to. Anyway, if you use water, which is the same element as this enemy, as this flan enemy, it's just gonna say that, I mean, along the lines of, it's just teaching Wakka and Tidus that if you use the same element as the enemy, then it's just gonna absorb it or don't take any damage from it. And meanwhile, when you use the other two, then it's just showing you what damage is or how the neutral elements will deal damage with it. So yeah, I'm just gonna go for Thunder. Not to mention, Lulu is Lulu is actually one of the more experienced guardians in this game. You'll know someday, in the later parts.
Take your time.
Let's get going, man.
We're gonna wait.
Huh?
Are you ready?
What's going on?
It's an ancient custom. People leaving the island pray here for a safe trip. Chappu didn't pray that day. Said he'd miss his boat.
You can choose either, but let's pray too.
That should do it.
Okay, our journey begins here. So now we have 4 people in the party. Initially, we just had Tidus and Wakka, but now Lulu and Yuna got added. So Yuna is basically the summoner for your party, who can access the Aeons like Vale 4 and more in the future as we go to the temples in Spira. And Lulu is our black mage, as said earlier, which can access the basic elements of black magic. I think we only have overdrive, right? Okay, so I forgot to tell this earlier. So in this game, there are various ways you can increase your overdrive gauge, but by default, we only have stoic. And as you can see based on the description, charges when character takes damage. So it is what it is. So you only increase your overdrive gauge when you take damage from the enemies. And as you go more into the game, as you engage into more battles, you will eventually learn more. Like when you defeat an enemy, your overdrive will charge, or when your character is alone, you will charge your overdrive, etc. Lots of overdrive modes in this game. I too have no idea why Kimari attacked all of a sudden. Maybe it's his way of testing you if you will be capable of protecting Yuna. And as you can see here, if we use cheer, if you look at the turns at the right, you see that when we use cheer, Tidus will still come afterwards. So why not? At least we get an increase in attack and defense. And if we use it another one, well, we'll get our turn after Kimari attacks once. But if we attack, he'll get 2 turns. I think we can just guard this one. Minimize the damage. 24. If we use cheer again, nothing much. Just attack. 50. If we use cheer again. Actually, I think we can just keep on attacking, then use a potion if ever we need to. Maybe we should have guarded. 106. He gets 2 turns again. Weird. Just cheer once more. 46. Guess he has the faster agility. 96. Oh, we actually got an overkill.
That's enough.
What's with that guy?
Kimari Ronso, of the Ronso tribe. He's learned the fiend's way of fighting.
That's not what I meant.
He's another of Yuna's guardians.
Huh?
Sometimes we don't understand him either. Kimari doesn't talk much anyway. But he has protected me since I was a child.
Gotta love how Kimari, or rather how Lulu described Kimari out of nowhere. Anyway, that's Lulu for us. So we also got an equipment dropped by Kimari. I was really surprised that we got an overkill. It's thanks to us cheering twice and landing a critical hit. So our luck. It only grants sensor. We don't really need it since Yuna already has access to it. We can just switch to her and check the enemy's weaknesses. Have I shortened the Aeons? Okay. We'll have more overviews here on what the character does. I believe here
That's your department, right?
will be summoning Valifor.
True, but why don't we let our summoner show us what she's made of?
There we go. Switching members during battle. Press L1 during battle to switch in a character not currently being used. You can do that anytime as long as current one is active.
Your first real battle. Let's see some style.
Show us what your training has taught you, Yuna.
Okay.
Summoning Aeons. So like characters, they have HP and MP2. Their HP goes down to 0, then the Aeon gets dismissed. Okay, so for Valifor, he gets the normal attack. He gets Sonic Wings, which is his unique ability. Damages an enemy and delays its turn. Can be useful. And she also gets access to black magic spells, like Lulu. Fire, Thunder, Water, Blizzard, the basic ones. And then here, when you press the right button of your D-pad, you get access to other abilities such as Shield and Boost. So Shield is basically like guard of your characters when you press the triangle button of your DualShock 4. And as based on the description, take less damage but overdrive gauge won't charge it. Can be useful later on. And here we have Boost, take more damage but charge overdrive gauge faster. And like what I said earlier, I wanted to show you what Energy Blast looks like. So what we're gonna do is keep on boosting Valifor. Can tank on the enemy's attacks anyway. Or she. I keep forgetting that Valifor is she. Okay, one more turn, then we will have our overdrive. As you can see, we boosted and Valifor dodged the attack. And she still got a boost from that. So it doesn't matter if it hits her or not, as long as the enemy engages her. Okay, so here we have Energy Blast and Energy Ray, and as promised, I'll show Energy Blast. Maybe Energy Ray someday, in later parts. But for now, let's go with Energy Blast. After all, we worked hard to get this. Somewhat. Still didn't get an overkill, interesting. We need 1-5. We got another equipment for Yuna. Enchanted Rod. Let's see what it does. Magic just plus 3%. We don't need it. We're gonna keep this. Anyway, I'll be ending this part right here. And I forgot to tell you. Usually, when I reach a new area or before proceeding to the story, I will grind up to 5 sphere levels, so that my character can get a boost on their stats to make the bosses not too hard for us and also not too easy for us. And I'll be doing the grinding. I won't be recording the grinding, but before I actually distribute the sphere levels on the sphere grid, I will show it on the next part, okay? So with that said, this part ends here.